The US dollar is in trouble. ClearValue Tax just came out with a video. So that seems to be a big news as of lately with the US dollar being in jeopardy. We have CPI numbers coming out tomorrow. Talking about Bitcoin later in the video with Benjamin Cowen and Willie Woo tweets, as well as Peter Schiff, what he thinks about where the economy is headed. Last, we're going to end it off with Chicken Genius and some of his research with jobs that could be replaced by AI. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. ClearValue Tax just recently dropped this video today and seems like this is some really big news. China and Russia are trying to break the US dollar. We have Graham Stephan also came out with that video called China Strikes Back, the end of the US dollar, as well as Andre Jick as well, the end of the US dollar, what you must know. So the whole situation is with the BRICS nations, Russia and China going full force on de-dollarizing. America has essentially the world reserve currency, the US dollar. And so the United States benefits really well from this, mainly due to trade, not having to deal with exchange rates. And of course, we already work with dollars. So, it just makes everything a lot easier. On top of all of that, the United States can print as much as they want. And so the BRICS nations have united together and are becoming a lot closer. So this is Russia, India, China, South Africa, Brazil, who are uniting together and coming up with a currency that could rival the US dollar. Either they're going to be using the yuan or they're going to be coming up with a brand new currency backed by gold. With this whole situation with the US dollar and just having way too much of it, inflation has gone absolutely crazy ever since the pandemic. If all of these major countries stop using the dollar, there's less demand for the dollar. Therefore, not only is there so much dollars out there, but there's significantly less demand for dollars, which will of course devalue the dollar because there's just so much supply. Of course, the Fed has been trying to fight this. Now that we see the CPI numbers that are going to come out tomorrow, CPI numbers are expected to release April 12th. So that's tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. So we should expect some volatility with the market. It's expected that the CPI numbers will come down. So in last month, we got the CPI numbers of about 6%. And I think this time around, it's expected that CPI numbers will come down to about 5.2, I believe, 5.3%. But even with inflation coming down, it's looking like the Fed may also increase interest rates again by 0.25 basis points as we head into May. I think the FOMC meeting is May 2nd. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll keep you up to date when that time comes. All right, in the next news, we move on to Bitcoin here. So Willie Woo tweets, BMI just crossed above the lower blue band, suggesting the reaccumulation phase of the cycle has begun. So, i.e., the bottom has formed, smart money investors accumulating, rejecting further lows, creating a low volatility bottom. Price moves up in a choppy sideways bullish manner. This is the chart that he's referencing here, and he thinks that smart money has accumulated, and he also thinks that the bottom is in, which is very, very interesting. And in his most recent tweet here, he's saying that Bitcoin buying of late ain't from traders. So it could be from whales and accumulators that have been just buying Bitcoin ever since the lows. And from the last tweet that he said, it looks like in his eyes and from that chart that Bitcoin has bottomed. I personally don't think that Bitcoin has bottomed yet. Gareth Soloway hasn't. ClearValue Tax doesn't think Bitcoin has bottomed. So, and now with this whole recession that seems to be looming, I still don't think that the bottom is actually fully in quite yet. And next we have Benjamin Cowen tweeting 30K Bitcoin dominance 48.3%. And then he later tweets, let's see, 49%. And then after that, he says 260%. So the reason why Benjamin Cowen is so big on this Bitcoin dominance thing is he likes to see this as where we are in the whole cryptoverse cycle. So typically, usually what happens in cycles is that Bitcoin tends to move ahead of every other coin. So Bitcoin will pump and start pumping, and then we won't really see alt pumps until later on. And then once Bitcoin begins to make a turn and start to dump during its bear markets, then soon after that, altcoins do the same. So right now, Bitcoin's price has been going up compared to the US dollar. And we see, of course, now the dominance of Bitcoin has been going up as well compared to the other altcoins. So essentially, now is not a good time to be buying altcoins because you would be better off buying Bitcoin now. Once Bitcoin's dominance reaches a certain percentage, so in this case here, let's say 60%, that's probably about the good time to start buying back into altcoins. This doesn't mean that all altcoins are going to act the same, and this doesn't mean that some altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin in some weeks, but this is the overall general situation of just what altcoins are doing in comparison to Bitcoin. And right now it looks like Bitcoin's dominance is certainly going up, and so this is definitely wrecking the altcoin investors. And so if we go ahead and jump over to the price of Bitcoin now, it's hovering at about 30,200. So Bitcoin finally broke out of this wedge here and now is shooting up. Bitcoin could reach this yellow line right here. We go ahead and take a look at the yellow line. We can see it runs up here. And generally, Bitcoin, when it's making its short-term bull runs, it usually follows this yellow line. So we saw it all the way up here, and then we dropped down, and it almost touched it, fell all the way to this blue line here, and then shot all the way back up to that yellow line. So I can see us reaching that yellow line again before we start heading back down and probably revisiting this blue line here at around 24,000, 25,000. So that's my thoughts on where I'm seeing Bitcoin. If we go ahead and move on to Peter Schiff here, of course, Peter Schiff is a major Bitcoin advocate. Just kidding. Peter Schiff is definitely a gold guy, and so that's what he always says to put your money in. He's definitely not a Bitcoin guy, but anyways, he thinks that we're definitely going to have a recession. That's like literally just a given. He is most likely thinking though that we are going to have a Great Depression, and this is mainly due to all the money printing that's been happening ever since 2008. You know, we've seen many countries, not just America, print tons of money for the past, decade and a half. And so he thinks that this is about the time where the major bubble is about to pop. And so this is going to affect not only just regular Americans, losing their jobs with layoffs during the recession, but this is going to have a major impact on the banks, because the banks are the ones that are essentially holding most of the debt that is mainly the primary driver of this major crash that is about to happen. So Peter Schiff, it's kind of crazy. He thinks that it's going to be somewhere around the Great Depression. The Great Depression happened around the 1930s. And so he thinks that we're going to be around that bad of a turn down, which is absolutely insane. We'll see where it actually goes. But to have a depression over just a regular recession is, a pretty crazy prediction right there. All right, last piece of news. Let's move on to Chicken Genius. He says that I've been using AI every day, and every day I am more certain many jobs will be replaced in 5 years. Most don't see this danger. Super long as thread listing the type of sectors and jobs, manual labor jobs. With autonomous machines and robots, jobs like factory, construction, and agricultural labor may be replaced. Assembly line workers, welders, carpenters, machinists, forklift operators, electricians. And then he moves on and says admin and clerical jobs. AI is automated tasks like data entry for file management. These roles could become even more automated. Data entry clerk, file clerk, receptionist, secretary, administrative assistant, human resources assistant. And then next he moves on to transportation jobs. Self-driving cars and trucks could replace human drivers, impacting jobs in transportation. Tax and limousine drivers, truck drivers, delivery drivers, train conductors, air traffic controllers, and shipping coordinators. Then after that, he moves on to customer service jobs. Improving natural language process and chatbots could automate some customer service roles, especially basic inquiries. Call centers, technical support specialists, consumer service representatives, complaint handlers, claim adjusters, travel agents, data analyst and processing jobs, AI could become more efficient and accurate than the human at processing data, affecting jobs in finance and accounting. So bookkeepers, accounting clerks, financial analysts, loan officers, tax preppers, and auditing clerks. And then in the last sector, he talks about the entertainment industry. So animation, AI algorithms can assist in animators in generating realistic detail animations by providing suggestions for movement, facial expression, and other details. Special effects, AI can help create complex special efforts in CGI that would be difficult or impossible to achieve using traditional techniques. Music composition, AI algorithms can analyze existing music and generate new compositions based on specific parameters such as genre, mood, and tempo. And then fourth is gaming. AI can create more realistic and immersive game experience by generating realistic environments, non-player characters, and challenging opponents. And then last year, fifth, virtual reality. AI can help create more interactive and engaging virtual reality experiences by generating lifelike environments and characters. I'll help more thoughts and how to remain relevant in AI. It's here. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, AI is definitely this major wave that is happening. You know, it's going to be crazy to see how integrated AI is going to become and how advanced it's become, not just now, but 10 years into now, 5 years into now, where is AI going to head? And so it's pretty cool to see what his research has shown here and which jobs could potentially be replaced. All right, guys, well, that is about it for this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely hit that thumbs up button and show this channel some love. It really, really helps out. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like these. That's about it for the video. My name is Jimmy Invest, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.